Oh boy, I sure do enjoy a long anime journey, which ends up with the main character becoming strong. The only way those can get better is if the main character becomes absolutely overpowered. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the most overpowered characters in an action-adventure anime. Action-adventure anime have always been one of the most popular genres. Whether you have Pokemon in mind or you have Dragon Ball Z, these journeys that the characters go through really make us fall in love with them. So, I thought, why not put out a video that will let you know about the action-adventure anime you've been missing out on? As always, guys, before we get into the video, I just really appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel. More than 80% of you aren't subscribed to the channel, and it helps me a lot when you do so. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. So, let's get into the video. Holy! 10. Mondaiji Tachi ga Isekai kara kuru so desu yo. Starting off our list is Mondaiji Tachi ga Isekai kara kuru so desu yo. This is an isekai action-adventure anime, but the main character here is extremely overpowered, which is why you've got to love it. Sakamaki Izayoi is one of the 4 main characters in Mondaiji, and he's the strongest member of the no-name organization. He has a calm and careless personality, but his willingness to do well and help his friends is beyond anything. The most powerful tool in his arsenal is his enhanced perception. Sakamaki can sense danger and threats from miles away, and his high intellect helps in creating counters for said threats. He also has an extremely high amount of strength, speed, durability, and agility. He can create a barrier of light to not just protect himself and others, but also use it as projectiles that he can throw. 9. Monster Strike. The story of Rin Homura is an interesting one. He returns to his hometown, called Kaminohara, but doesn't really remember anything about it. He gets his cell phone back from the repairman and finds a game titled Monster Strike preloaded onto it. For some reason, he decides to open the game, and his life gets turned absolutely upside down as he's blatantly attacked by a strange man. While Rin's story is an interesting one, it's his abilities that make the show such a fun-filled romp to sit through. Rin's a master combatant, having spent almost all of his life playing video games that depend on such skill sets. So, when he's put into a world where summoning monsters from inside of a game becomes the thing standing between life and death, he accepts it epically. All 3 of the monsters that he commands are absolutely overpowered, one of which is Fenrir X. Fenrir X is so darn gorgeous and overpowered that it makes Rin the conqueror of each battle he's in. 8. Gare Zero. In a fictional Japan, the Supernatural Disaster Countermeasures Division, or SDCD, fights to protect the human population from unseen threats. They're trained fighters who neutralize these threats without the normal people actually finding out. However, when one of their own chooses to betray them, they have no one else to rely upon aside from a new recruit, Kagura Tsuchimiya. Kagura Tsuchimiya is such a fantastic character. Her journey from a rookie to an absolutely overpowered badass is such a fun train to be on. Her byakue, which is a sort of Japanese sword, enables her to slice through the unseen without any hesitation. While she doesn't have any unnatural or superhuman abilities, it's her sheer skill in combat that she gets from her father and her trainings that make her a beast. She cuts through hordes of unseen without letting any of her emotions and personal life hold her back. 7. Seisen Cerberus, Ryukoku no Fatalities. Following the story of the evil dragon Dagenzord, which means to destroy all life and bring destruction to the living realms, Seisen Cerberus is the struggle of 3 rival kingdoms of Amoria, Ishilfen, and Van Rodis. Even the slightest power creep could lead to a full-scale war between the 3 kingdoms, yet they hold at bay due to the danger of the evil dragon. The story follows main character Hiro, who lost his family in a battle to seal the Dragon Lord. Though his family was lost, he was rescued by a swordsman and mentored in the swordsmanship skill. Ignited by his lust for revenge, Hiro learns all kinds of swordsmanship tricks and skills. This cocky and arrogant young man isn't just cocky for edge. He's actually overpowered. His heart is fueled by vengeance, and his skill only increases throughout the series as his character development progresses further and further. 6. Roka no Yusha. The story of 𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 and how he becomes a brave to prepare and save the world from the second coming of a powerful demon lord is exquisite on its own. However, it's 𝐜𝐴DLT's character that truly drives the pacing of 𝐸𝐸𝐿 no Yusha. This is a character full of conviction and confidence within himself. 𝐜𝐴DLT has reached brand new heights of weapon mastery. He's a multitude of weapons in his bag that he carries on himself at all times. He's highly intelligent and has a huge sense of deduction. He can track really well and find out the locations of his enemies. The self-proclaimed strongest man in the world has a ton of trouble dealing his way through the braves of the 6 flowers. However, once he learns his true potential, he becomes damn near unstoppable. 5. Black Cat. Train Heartnet. How many lists are there where Train Heartnet's overpowered character has always been mentioned? Well, we couldn't leave him out of this one, that's for sure. Black Cat's titular main protagonist, the cold-blooded, ruthless assassin known as the Black Cat, is an elite, overly skilled character who does nothing but kill. And killing, he does in style. Train's main personality point is his love and relationship with his weaponry. His 6-shot revolver called Hades is what he controls with maximum accuracy. Furthermore, the infection upon his body gave him the power to wield a railgun and an even stronger burst railgun which can decimate hordes of foes in his path. Though if he misses his shots and an enemy ends up pouncing on him, he can always use his black claw to tear them to shreds. 4. Dororo. Dororo is one of the most beautiful action-adventure anime in recent memory. It follows Hyakkimaru and Dororo on their travels as a ronin and his apprentice. Hyakkimaru is on a search for his limbs that were stolen by demons. He doesn't feel pain in most of his body, since the majority of it is prosthetic limbs. His body is beyond superhuman. However, his strength is hindered due to his missing limbs. But his demonic strength and enhanced senses make up for all of it. Hyakkimaru was born blind with the power of soul sight, so he can see the souls of both humans and demons. He's also unable to speak, so he uses telepathy to talk to Dororo. A master swordsman, a ronin, a ninja warrior, there are many titles you could give him. The fact remains that he can cut down basically anyone and anything in his path. Hyakkimaru is truly a protagonist for the ages, an overpowered master of his craft. 3. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Another isekai on our list here. Death March follows Ichiro Suzuki, who's a programmer wage-slaving away his 30s. He suddenly one day finds himself in a fantasy world, mashed together from games he was debugging in his real life. In this world, he's a younger version of himself with the name Satao, which is his gamer tag. His strength can be explained in video game terms. His overall magic power is 3100 as compared to 10 or 50 of the other characters. His endurance is also 3100, as well as his stamina. Ichiro goes through many different forms, each one giving him an upgrade in endurance, strength, and damage powers. This is a series you have to watch to realize just how brokenly strong Satao gets by the end. 2. Arifureta Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo. This is an anime that I absolutely adore. Like I said in my previous videos, it has an absolute soft spot in my heart. The main character being overpowered is one of the aspects. However, the story is just as fun as it always is on the first watch. Arifureta is one of those series that grips you from the very first episode, following main character Hajime Nagumo as he starts out weak but gains immense strength through his own pain. He goes through everything bad, torture, mutilation, physical and mental torment, to finally unlock his mystical mutations which turn him into an overpowered badass. He gains many abilities such as immense strength, speed, durability, and reflexes. This complements his knowledge of battle tactics. He also has a huge mana reserve, so he never runs out of spell power. His personality is super fun too. He's not just a fighter, but an inventor and a craftsman. 1. 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿. High school prodigies have it easy, even in another world. What other way to end this list but an isekai? 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 is one of the most popular isekai anime out there. Its cast of characters is just as large as its title, following 7 high school prodigies that survive a plane crash only to find themselves in a medieval fantasy world. The series does a great job of exploring young characters with a ton of personality. The main character in 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 is Tsukasa Mikogami. The reason why I put 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 number 1 is because of how uniquely strong Tsukasa is. He's not the strongest fighter or the most overpowered badass, but he's the smartest character in the show's world, and he overpowers enemies with his mental strength. He deduces others' decisions beforehand and plans how to counter them. He has the all-knowing power of knowledge, making him the closest thing to a god in the world of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿. That's it for this new video, everyone. If you liked the video, then please make sure to click like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon. It's super helpful to me personally, and it's free. And y'all know you can change your mind later if at any given moment you feel like the content is not what you want. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.